Alright, so I have a wonderful idea. So while I'm doing work, okay, so I'm recording videos, recording tutorials, and then I create a blog out of it. So I was thinking, like, how can I make this much more efficient for me? If, of course, I can't do an AI video that does the actual tutorial for me. That would be absurd because I want to speak in the camera. I want to share with you what I'm learning. But the problem is, how do I make the blogging part faster or more efficient for me? So that's why I thought, why can't I just make an AI agent with the help of GHL that will create an entire blog for me based on the YouTube video? Now imagine, like, what can I do with it if I have like tons of other YouTube videos that are stored in our YouTube channel, and create blog posts out of them without a need of a human touch. So basically, that's what we built here. This is what I built here using the agent studio of GHL. So if you want to access this one, it's pretty straightforward. You just go to AI agents and you go to agent studio, and this is the one that I created literally a few hours ago, and I was experimenting on this one, but I'm just gonna share with you what I did here. Number one, you need to have a trigger, which, like in any workflows or automation workflows, there needs to be a starting point, and the starting point is a chat message. We're gonna treat this AI agent as if it's one of our editors or one of our copywriters who basically watches the entire video and creates a blog post out of that. So it starts with a chat message, and then I added a new node, which is an AI agent. And this AI agent is basically, what it does is it's gonna ask for the YouTube link, or if you just send a YouTube link, then what it's gonna do is it's going to capture this YouTube ID in YouTube, and basically it's gonna store it in the variable, the runtime variable. Next is it's also going to store the actual YouTube link, like here, and it's gonna store it in the second variable, which I named YouTube link. So if you want to learn more about variables, or basically in programming, it's a memory that can store a specific value, and you can change that value anytime. So this is a specific memory. We're going to store a value here, and the value for the YouTube ID is going to be the ID of the video, and the link is going to store the actual video link here. Now, the reason why we need that is because we're going to call an API, and this is with the help of RapidAPI. I created a test account in RapidAPI that basically what it does is when I send it a YouTube video, it's gonna get the entire transcript of that video, and it's gonna return back that transcript and store it in the variable here that's called YouTube transcriptor API. This is the actual name of the API that I used in RapidAPI. All right. So anyway, this is just a test account. It's okay if you see like the API key, but basically what it's gonna do is, how do you basically transfer this to here? In the AI agent, you can add a tool that's called a router. It's this one, and basically what you add to the router is this one. Sorry, it's not a router, but it's called an API call. So in the API call, you need to have the endpoint of the API, which is basically the URL in which you're gonna send the data to. So basically, just copy this one, the URL, and paste it here as the get endpoint. I know that this is a get because the request is get from the YouTube transcriptor API. If you don't have any background in programming, this is intimidating, but it's pretty straightforward. Basically, you just need to get the details that you need to make an actual API call and store it here. So you get the endpoint. Then if it says here that you need a header that's called content type, then all you have to do is create a header here that's called content type, and the value is this one. It's a key value pair. This is the key, this is the value. So basically what I did is just copy the key, paste it here, copy the value, and paste it on the right side. Do all the same for the API key, and after you do that, then it's saved. Now, what it does here in the YouTube transcriptor API is if you send a YouTube video ID, and we're gonna test this one, it's gonna get the actual transcript of that YouTube video, and it's gonna return it to you in a JSON format that looks like this. This is the only thing that we need to get out of it. All of this are just the captions from the video, but this is the exact detail that we need, the actual transcript. And the reason why we need a transcript is because when we need to create a blog post with the help of this tool, it needs to read the context of the actual YouTube video so that it knows what to write about in that video. So anyway, we did the API call here, and once it receives back the actual data, we have another API agent, we have another AI agent, sorry, that will basically extract the details that we need for the blog post. Number one, we need a transcript, and we're gonna basically have a prompt here. Send back the transcript to the user from the API response you got from this runtime variable that we created here in the previous node. And we need to store the entire transcript only in the transcript variable, which is this one. I'm talking about this one. I'm talking to the agent as if it's like my employee who knows exactly what to do and how to do it. So I gave instructions. Create a title for the blog post based on the context of the... I need to make this bigger. Yeah. Based on the context of the transcript, and store it in the blog title variable, which is this one. This is the blog title variable. Next instruction, create a blog slug using the title that you created and store it in the blog slug variable, which is this one, the third one. The next is create a detailed description of the blog and store it in the blog description, and so on and so forth. Now the last part is the raw HTML, and this is the actual blog that's going to get posted. I gave an instruction here that create an actual blog in raw HTML, and the reason why we need a raw HTML for the blog is because that is like the requirement to create a blog post using the Agent Studio. And the YouTube link should also be included in the first section of the blog, which you can get here. So I'm gonna add the runtime variable, and here's the YouTube link. All right. Now I'm gonna close this one. I'm gonna press save. And then we have another node, which is image generation. And what it does is it's just going to create a blog image based on the blog description so that it matches the context of the blog that we're going to post. The last step, second to the last technically, is to create the actual blog post. Now, all of the variables that we created here in this AI agent, that is what we're going to use here to create the blog post. So in order to create a blog post, you need to create a node. And the action of the node is, I'm just going to show you how to do it here. For example, you create a node here. Let's call this AI agent. And actually, it shouldn't be an AI agent. I'm going to create a new node, sequential node, and the processing node for this one is an action. So we're going to do an action, and the type of action that we need to do is create a blog post. You can choose from a lot of actions that it can do here, but we only need to create a blog post, so that's what we did here. So I'm gonna I just showed you how to do it. Now going back to this blog creation, we need to have a blog title. We created a blog title on this node, so we're gonna store it here. We need a blog ID. It's gonna be stored in the insert field tutorials. We need the image, which is the one that we created here. We need a description, which also what we got from this node. The HTML, the raw HTML, which I'm talking about earlier, it's being stored here, and this is going to be the actual content. Now the status of the draft is set to draft because we don't want to publish it without reviewing it first, but basically all of the other details are here. Now how it does it is I'm gonna show you in a test. Now, once we have everything saved, we're gonna do a test, and we're gonna just copy any YouTube video that you like. And here in the test, since this is a chat AI agent, I'm just gonna send the video here. And what you'll notice here is it's gonna process the video. It's gonna run through all of the steps or all of the flows that we created. So it's gonna run through here, then it's gonna do the API call, then it's gonna create a lot of variables. It's gonna create an image, then based on the variables that we created here, it's gonna create a blog post. Basically at this point, it already has captured all the details that it needs to create a good blog based on the video that we sent in this chat agent. So let's just wait for this to finish, and I'm gonna show you the final product soon. Alright, so it finished running. So basically after I sent the video, it just gave me a summary of what are the details that it extracted and stored in the variables. Then I said, okay, perfect, please proceed. Now once it reached this part, it reached the end of the node, and basically it's saying us that it has created the blog post. Now if we go to the blogs, we see here that there's a new blog post that's in drafts, by the way, that basically has all of the details stored here. And it's pretty cool because it talks how we want it to talk, and it got the entire context of the video, which is basically to fix your firm intake, which is the entire context of this tutorial video that I posted a couple of days ago. And it transformed it into a blog post, which is already in drafts mode. So all I need to do next is just review everything here. If there's anything that I need to change, then I can change it here and post it already. Now, anyway, that's just to show you the power of this Agent Studio. Imagine if you can build a workflow that's going to help your operations. Imagine list out all of the manual operations in your agency that can be solved by an AI agent, and create an actual workflow that solves the issue for you, or actually does the work for you. It's gonna save you a lot of time. It's gonna make your operations more efficient, and it's definitely gonna give you more time to focus on what matters the most, which is to make money. And this is just one example. I'm gonna definitely be creating more videos around this Agent Studio and share it with you, like all of my experiments and ideas that I wanted to test out. I'm gonna create a video of that, so please watch out for those type of contents if you're liking this type of tutorials. All right, so that's it for me. I hope you learned something new with GHL and the Agent Studio, and if you have questions, just leave it in the comment and I'll answer them back. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.